Hey, good afternoon. Looking forward to making some art with you. Today we're making a reptile relief. The reason it's called a relief is that it comes off of the surface. So you might be able to see how that has some foam board in between the lizard and the background. So that's what a relief is. It's off or raised up off of the surface. So we're going to make a reptile relief. Now you might remember last class we talked a little bit about cool colors and warm colors, and it kind of goes hand in hand with cool colors, especially with the reptiles because they are cold-blooded. And so those cool colors are usually your blues and your greens and then some of your violets, dark purples that are considered cool. And then our warm colors are our reds and oranges and yellows, and they kind of give us a sense of warmth. So these cold-blooded reptiles are always trying to warm up. So that's why we usually see them basking on stones in creeks and riverbeds, or we find them, especially on hot summer days, kind of slithering around on the ground, enjoying some of the heat that the sun gives off. So today we're going to make a reptile relief. Now you have the choice of making a lizard like this one, or you can make a tortoise or a turtle. That's the design, and I'll show you later how that will look. We can work on that. And then you can also, if you like, make a snake. So you have three options: a snake, the lizard, or the turtle. But before we even begin to decide or actually start working on either one of those three, we have to begin really with the background. So keep in mind what it is that you would like to make in terms of the cold-blooded reptiles, and let's go ahead and begin with our backdrop, our background. Now as you can see with this, the background has the white around, and then here is the colors, so the colored pieces behind that are inside of those. Now the thing that we use today for our colors is going to be the colored chalk or sidewalk chalk that I used. And I only used four of these colors: a green, a blue, a kind of an orange color, and then a red. And I use these colors interchangeably on the background for this. So first off, we need to go ahead and get your brush, because you'll need your brush, you'll need a white paint. You can use actually a yellow or a pastel colored piece of paint for that. It would be no problem. And then I have a cup of water, because when you finish the painting, you'll want to just put your brush in that so it won't get all gooked up on your brush, and then you can clean it later on. So what you'll do, I've already done this to kind of give you an idea, but you'll just go ahead, you can either squirt this out. For me, I kind of just took it off and then I just put it in another piece of paper or a piece of cardboard to use as kind of a makeshift palette. So once I loaded that paint onto my brush, then basically I did some just basic lines. I painted coming across down here, and then I went into this area, and see how easy it kind of defined these shapes, and did the same thing, another line here. Now you can go back over, as you paint one line, it may be a little thin, so I tend to go back over that to kind of thicken that up some, so that way you don't see the purple behind. Now again, you can use any color. Usually it works if you have a darker color and then you're painting the white on, so it kind of pops out. So then I got this, make this quick one, then I come across up here. I kind of reload some pieces, so that way it's thicker again. And then just come on down. Now you can make this any way. I'm just putting lines through here, so that way the negative space, which is this purple right here that pops out, it kind of develops into shapes. So then we just make some more lines like that and around. Sometimes when you're painting the lines on the paper, sometimes you'll start working and it's a little bit thicker than you want or a little bit thinner than you want, and you can kind of thick it up, make it wider. Sometimes when you're kind of putting this down, you'll let the brush slip a little bit and it'll go out. Well, just paint it a little bit more and kind of widen that line out. Don't worry about it. Just continue to kind of work with that, and it will really fix itself. The other thing, when you're painting with a brush, let the brush do the work. In other words, when you load your brush onto that brush head and you just go ahead and put down, just let your hand just kind of guide that with the brush, and the brush will do all of the work. It will kind of put the paint down where it needs to lay. And that's just a lot of just practice really with painting with brushes, but you'll be fine. For this exercise, y'all should be doing pretty well. So you go ahead and you've got your lines, you lay down all your lines on the back for your background. All right, so this is what that should look like. Again, you could actually change it up. You could have lines going down, make it more like squares and rectangles. You could even have triangle pieces on that background. It's whatever you would like to do. It keeps it kind of busy looking, which is nice. It's what we want to do for this effect for the art piece. Now we're going to put the chalk inside these negative shapes, these shapes that kind of popped out to us, okay? And I'm not going to fill the whole thing in, but I just want to show you how I kind of worked this and how I kind of made that effect look like the way it ended up turning out for the outcome of this piece with the pastels. So what I did first, I took one color, let's say I took a red, and I just put it up here, kind of made it almost into a square or circle shape. All right. Now, what's fun about this is that you're going to use your fingers. Now, I blew a little bit of the excess off. Okay, so I blew that off, and then I would take maybe a lighter color. Okay, so let's take this yellow. And I'll play around with it and take a little bit of this green color or blue color here, and then again, blow the excess off. All right, not bad. Then I take my finger, start from inside. See, got that. It's kind of smooth looking, and then I'll come around. And I don't have to fill the whole thing in. I can let some of that purple kind of make another little line, contour line, an outside line of these colors if I want to. All right, so you don't have to fill it all in if you don't want to. All right, now I take this blue, so you can see that, and I make that connect. And see, it's kind of a neat looking design. And all I did was lay those colors down and used my finger to blend that. Isn't that kind of cool? So then let's just try another way. So I'll take some red, and maybe I'll get a larger part of a larger piece here. Okay, take that again. I'll just go all the way. Let's just go all the way around across. Blow that a little bit off. Let's take this green. It's kind of nice. See that green? Blow it off a little bit. Let's take this blue. Why not? And then, just again, using my finger here, I'll start up here with this red, come back in with this green. Now, red and green, by the way, are considered complementary colors. Okay, and then let's take this blue. It's kind of a neat look, huh? Kind of move that in there. Let's kind of get this finger in there, get it all blended well. Oh, that's nice. Okay. And then what I could do is continue to put more colors down. Again, I kind of limited myself. You might have more sidewalk chalk or colored chalk at home. And if you do, then I'd say just use as many colors as you'd like. The more colors is kind of nice, gives it kind of a nice look. But again, I kind of limited myself to these 4 different colors. So that's a way in which you can blend, and you can do this kind of design for blending as well. Again, just experiment and see what you like and how you like the way your art piece is beginning to take some form and some shape. All right, so now let's imagine we finished this all up. Your background is done. Let's put our background over to the side. And now you're going to begin working on your reptile. Okay, so if mine was the lizard. So let's look at how we were going to draw our reptile. Let's take a look at the lizard first, and then we'll go through each one of them. They're basic designs, and you can stop this at any time to look at this again. Also, for those that are looking at this through Facebook, I will also have the patterns with the video as well. So if we take a look at our lizard, what you need to do is take another piece of construction paper or another piece of paper, and you're going to take your pencil, and you're going to draw with the pencil first on your paper. Now remember, you want to think about when you're drawing your reptile, how it kind of fills up a good portion of that background. So you don't want to make it too small, in other words. And if it's large, it's quite all right. And I'll show you, you can do some neat stuff with those pieces, those drawings. So anyway, let's take a look here. We start, it looks kind of like, first, it doesn't look kind of like an E, not necessarily fully formed, but it's getting there. So let's start in here, draw out, and come all the way around. Okay, that's our first piece. Then we're going to add to it. We go here to here. Now this looks like a less than sign, doesn't it? So if we do come in here and come in here, and then right next to it, or give it a little bit of space, you're going to make almost a big Z. See that? Big Z. Okay, so you should have this piece and those two. All right, the less than, and then the Z. So when we come down, our third phase of this is we're going to add to these 2 pieces. So we come in and we do another less than sign, and then we have a smaller Z out to the side, and now you can see how we're going to bring it all together. Then we're going to connect this into its claws. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and connect. So we got this shape that's happening now. Then, this is the kind of the final piece. We add all of the stuff to it. So remember, we have this basic shape, E. We have the claws that are attached now. And so then we're going to attach it all together. So here's the underbelly. Attach that. Underneath the hind leg, we're going to go all the way down to make its tail, to connect that. Then it has kind of a little, I guess you would call it like a gullet or whatever, underneath that throat area. So then we're going to make a little hoop and then connect back. And once you have this, then what we'll do is we'll do some of the inside pieces. So let's go ahead and add it into the middle of just one line, so that way, and now it has a mouth that's fully formed. And a little bit up here is kind of that snout area to make sure it's breathed okay. We're going to add a little eye, a little oval look, and stick a little in there in the pupil, so we have an eye. And then over here is just kind of this big circle area. It's kind of this, I forgot what it's exactly called on lizards, but it definitely makes it look more like a lizard. So we're going to make this big circle here. And then we're going to kind of fan out some of these, it looks spiky types of things on the outside. So do that. They're basically triangles or flags. And we just add those all the way around. As we're getting around the tail, you want to make them a little bit smaller. You can see a little bit smaller. And there we go. And then we're going to add a little bit of design inside, okay? So we kind of put this in here, and here. Alrighty. So actually it's kind of more of an iguana type of thing, isn't it? I've been calling it a lizard, it's more of an iguana, but that's quite alright. Alright, so you add these little squiggly patterns inside all the way down, or however far you want to make those, okay? So there is your lizard, your iguana. It's set in place, ready to go for you. And so if this is what you want to have for your reptile, then the next thing you need to do for this piece is once it's drawn, then you're going to come back with your paintbrush. And you're going to use your white or another color, a light color, and you're going to paint this over your drawing. So it's going to have this look to it. So you see some of my drawing still there. I left that in there and that was fine. That's kind of what I wanted to do. But you're going to take that paint and you're going to come back over and you're going to paint this white or this yellow or whatever the light color that you have, and you're going to paint over your drawing, over those lines, okay? And when you allow that to finish, the paint, the white paint to dry, then you're going to come back in with your chalk, your colored chalk. And that's when you're going to come in and design that. But before we get ahead of ourselves though, let's take a look at the other two patterns that you might want to choose from as well for your reptile. So again, that is our lizard, our iguana. And then we've got two other choices. We have a turtle or tortoise. It's an easy enough shape. Let's start with the first one. Make a large kind of oval in the middle, a smaller kind of semicircle, and then you see how easy these shapes are for the arms and for the legs. And then the back part of this is his tail, okay? We do the same thing. What we're going to do is add now this kind of diamond shape that's going to develop into his shell. So we just kind of have this diamond shape coming through here. You can probably see that. Diamond shape. Okay. And then we're going to add to this, the last piece. So from this diamond shape, we've got this diamond shape on his back. We're going to add two little pieces here, and a little kind of concave, or a I don't know what they call it, concave, convex circle right here. Connect, another little connect, and so you have that side done. Come back over here, have it connect over to that side. Take a little piece there, sliver right there too, come right across, and you've got the back. Then you can add if you want to. Looks kind of like his claw piece on his feet and hands. There's claws, little claw marks. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then if you want to, you can put eyes on the side. There's two eyes. And then there's those two little slits up here at his nose or mouth area. And so you see that's pretty simple shapes that you can make into your reptile, your turtle. So, and then the last one is a snake design. Let's turn right here. All right, so we start first with this design, being right here. Start right up here at the top, somewhere on that paper, and you're basically kind of just going all the way around, imagining around to this corner. That's going to be the tail. Then we're going to add to it. Now the face or the head of the snake is a kind of a diamond shape. So don't worry about that yet. We're going to connect that in a second. We're going to start back again, how we had this shape already. Let's start in the very back with the tail. Start with that tail, circle around. You can feel a sense of that body of the snake come all the way up, And when you're here in this area, that's when you start thinking about this diamond shape that you're going to connect. And then you connect. Then you just add all of the little things to it. So then we're going to add some designs to this. Let's start with the top of the head. There we go. And you come across, and then a little diamond, and across, kind of a zigzag diamond. And this is what I did. A little cross here with stripes, a little zigzag diamond, stripe, zigzag diamond, stripe. And I followed that all the way into the tail. Then I put it where he's got his tongue flicking out. So easy enough to kind of add that on there. And then 2 eyes. All right? So that's what your snake will look like. When you have drawn that and then painted that with your white paint, remember we did this? Remember when you did that with the white paint? Now you're ready to cut this out. So imagine that you went ahead and you cut out, let's say it's that iguana, that lizard. So we went ahead and cut it out. It's already painted in. It's already where it had the white paint on it. You've already designed it. So with the other things, you've taken your chalk and you've designed, you've colored it the way you like it. So for here, I used the blue and the green and the red. And I just kind of made it work. I did this kind of design where I mixed it in from this, how that kind of looks here in different colors. And so that's how I did the body here. So you can do that any way you would like. So imagine we've done all of those things. We've got him all together. He's already cut out. Use the scissors, cut him out. Now to make it a relief, remember relief means it's raised up from the surface. So we turn him around, and this is where we attach foam boards, foam cutouts. You can also use cardboard, just small little pieces of cardboard, cut it out in little squares. And then what you'll do is take your glue, take the foam board, apply glue on one side of the foam board, and just put it on the back of your reptile. Once that dries, then you're almost done, almost done. So let's imagine here is our background, okay? And we have gone ahead and that's glued. Then we're going to take more glue, apply it on the tops of all of our foam board pieces or cardboard pieces. And then we're going to take it, just imagine this is stuck, but it's not. Then we're going to take it and apply it somewhere on our drawing. Now this is really big for this background, okay? So I would imagine it'd be smaller. But if you do one really big, it's okay. What's kind of neat is you see how this is kind of coming off. But if you can imagine that foam board's under here, and what that's going to do, that's going to have it look like a relief, look like it's coming up out of that background piece. And so there we are. So the finished product will be like this, okay? If it's an iguana, but imagine if you had a turtle, or imagine if you had your snake, and your finished project will look something similar to this. Now it all depends on the way in which you blend your colors and the amount of colors that you have as well. And the last thing that's so important for this, remember what I said last time, is to sign your name on your artwork. You're going to want to look back at this, or at least somebody in your family is going to look back at these pieces, and it's really going to be nice when one day you're just wondering, gosh, I remember back when I used to make all this really neat artwork. And they have a collection of it, and they just bring it out for you to kind of reminisce back on when you had fun making such neat and cool things. So here it is. This is our reptile relief. I hope you've enjoyed making art. Our next class will actually be May the 8th. I want to give a week in between to allow people the opportunity to finish up some of these projects that we've worked on these past couple of weeks. So we'll start back May 8th, and in May 8th we are going to actually do pour painting, and we'll use some canvases with those pieces and have a lot of fun. So look forward to seeing you May 8th. And again, please post your finished works to my page on Facebook. We'd love to see your work. All right, great. Talk to you later. Take care. See you guys in the next week or so. Bye-bye.